Good morning, good afternoon to Mr. Pete's Block 1 and Block 2. Welcome back. Happy New Year. I just want to let you know that I missed you guys, and I hope you have a fantastic, fantastic day today and tomorrow. I hope you had a fantastic break, and for Mr. Pete's class that already heard that earlier today, you get to hear that again. I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate your hard work, and I can't wait as we enter 2019, your last year here at McCain Elementary. I can't wait to see how far you move from January all the way until June, the J's, as we begin that march to the peak of the mountain coming up here in the middle of January when we finish our second quarter, which is coming up really, really soon. All right, so today what you're going to be doing for me and for yourselves is several things. You're going to be starting with your free write. Your free write is kind of coming off of Christmas and New Year's. We've got a Christmassy sort of theme today. I want you to tell me about 3 different things. I want you to give me a lot of detail. Number 1, what's the best gift that you got? It may be a physical gift. It may be just time with certain people. So tell me about that gift. And I want you using the senses to describe it. 1 gift that you got. 2, what was your favorite gift that you gave to somebody else? Maybe it was something special and well thought out. My kids really think out their presents really well. Again, my son, he drew me this fantastic picture of this building in LA that was used in a very famous movie called Die Hard. You can see how awesome that is. And then my daughter, she drew me this and obviously spent a lot of time on it. You guys saw the plate that she had been working on for my wife. I'm sure my wife would talk about that. Those are 2 gifts that I'm sure they would talk about as being special gifts that they gave. Lots of different things that you may have given to somebody, and I want you to talk about that. Now, it's true, sometimes parents don't necessarily make their kids get them gifts. If you didn't do that, I want you to make sure you tell me about what you would have gotten them if you could, and maybe from here till next year you can work on that. And then the third thing, what's the one thing you wanted that was a realistic gift? Don't tell me about buildings and 800 acres. What's the one thing that you wanted that you didn't get? And maybe why didn't you get it? Okay, so that's number 1, your free write. You're only going to need about 15 minutes for that. When you're done with your free write, you're going to get to share a couple, 2, 3. And then you're going to be working on something brand new. You're going to be working on an informational prompt. So just to kind of give you a heads up, this is a prompt about facts. This is real. Not about you, but about things that you know. And I'm going to have a short little video to kind of walk you through all the process. Remember, this isn't something I've taught yet. So you're practicing today, you're practicing tomorrow. So we have a beginning. We're going to do it together when I get back. So you'll have a middle, and then you'll get to write another prompt at the end. So we'll be writing 3 prompts. One that when you don't know how to do it with just a quick little instruction, one over a 3-week span where I get a lot of instruction. And then after you've got that instruction, you're going to write a 3rd one. So you'll see kind of how that all begins here in a couple of minutes. That'll take you probably, for my Block 1 class, that'll take you to 11 o'clock. For my Block 2 class, that'll take you from 2 o'clock until somewhere around 3 o'clock. Okay? And then you're going to be independently reading today, just kind of getting back into the stamina swing, using a novel that you have. Now listen to me. If you don't have your book today and you have to use your iPad, I better see a physical book tomorrow. Bring it from home. If you didn't get any books or you don't have any books at home, well, that's a whole nother conversation. Okay, we will kick back into guided reading groups on Monday and starting some poetry and continuing with informational. So just be ready to roll, okay? That's it. I'm going to show you a couple of quick videos on what you're doing today with your informational prompt. All of that will be in your writer's notebook. Please make sure you have those today. Make sure you have those tomorrow. No excuses or you're paying money. The breaks are over. Happy New Year. I miss you guys. If you haven't heard from my class, I will be here. If you can shoot me a short email letting me know something that you did over break, that's totally okay. If you don't know my email address, at this point, I'm not telling you where to find it. Something tells me it's right in front of you. You just have to look around. Send me an email, and if you're allowed, you can send me a short video. But please, 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 please don't take away from your learning today. Have a fantastic day, kiddos, and I will see you Monday. Well, you'll see me in a second. And you'll see me tomorrow, too. Bye. Informational writing is information, which is factual writing. This is information that you know about or that you can research. Today, as we start our prompts, we are just going to be writing about things that we're experts at. And remember, this is not something that is fiction, okay? It is fact. This is something you would find in a nonfiction book. This is something that you would find perhaps in a magazine article. You're going to be telling somebody about something using as many facts as you can. Now, the prompt that you're writing today, you're not going to be necessarily looking things up, although there is a way for you to do that, but I'll get to that as we go. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be doing today is making an expert list. So on a fresh page of your notebook, go ahead and open up your writer's notebook to the fresh page, just like you're seeing right here. And I want you to write the date at the top. Today's date is 1/3/19. Got to get used to writing 2019, and you're going to write expert list. Now I'm going to have to expand this because I'm using this weird marker, so I'm going to go ahead and expand it. Now what you're going to be doing here for the first few minutes, boys and girls, is you're going to be writing about topics that are interesting to maybe write about. That you're an expert at. And there's lots of things that you might be an expert at. And what I'm going to do is show you a few things that I'm an expert at, or at least that I think that I am. And again, you're just going to be throwing out brainstorming ideas here, and your goal is to get at least 20. And I know you're probably saying to yourself right now, Mr. Pete, there's no way I'm going to get 20, but you'd be surprised, okay? So here we go. I'm going to say this is going to take probably between 3 and 5 minutes. Some of you a lot faster, some of you a lot slower. Those of you that are taking slow, please make sure that you're slow because you're struggling with ideas and not slow because you're looking out the window. I'm not naming any names. You know who you are, the 3 of you that are smiling. All right, here we go. So my expert list. I'm just going to start off with the easy things. I think I'm an expert at guitar. I think that I'm an expert at teaching. I mean, these aren't things that I'm not going to get better at someday, but they're things that I can write a full and complete story about, okay? Not a story, a full and complete informational piece. Number 3, I know a lot about baseball. I think I know a lot about writing. If I didn't, I shouldn't be teaching it. I think that I know a lot about dogs. Oops. You can see this doesn't have to be perfect. I think I know a lot about cats. I'm going to even get a little detailed here. I'm going to put 7 right here, and I'm going to put a miniature, and I'm not worried about spelling. If I spell it wrong, that's okay. I'm going to fix it later. Miniature schnauzers. You can see I'm already starting to kind of narrow down my topics. Cats, I'm going to actually write Oriental short hairs, and I'm going to write here for 9, I'm going to write feral cats, because we have a feral cat colony here in the neighborhood. I know a little bit about those. Number 10, I know a lot about the NFL. Connected to that, I know a lot about the Steelers. Now, I know a lot of you right now, my sports fans here, I know a lot about the Browns. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, I can get 20 topics just writing team names down. Well, here's the deal. I don't want any more than 3 things for a specific topic. For example, you can see I've got the NFL here, I got the Steelers here, I got the Browns. I'm done with football. Now, for those of you that are planning on just writing sports things down here, I only want you doing up to 9 things, 3 topics, and then you can have 2 things that connect to it. So if I have NFL, if I have baseball, I decide to write Cleveland Indians right here, and I'll go ahead and do that. And let's see, let me get creative. Let me say Jacobs Field, Progressive Field. Oops, apparently I don't know how to count. I'm going to erase that. Okay, so what I'm saying is, you can see right here that I've got 2 topics, but really I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can do 1 more topic that's sports with 2 connected to it. You can only have 9 total. Okay, so those of you that only do sports writing, you know that that's going to have to change. All right, let me go ahead and keep going. Let me get up to my 20. 15, I'm going to put something, let's see. How about podcasting? And again, these are things that are interesting to other people. I'm not going to put my house. I know a lot about McCain Elementary. I'm going to actually write the gym area. It's a really cool gym area. I used to play basketball there. 17, I'm going to, let's see. I know a lot about Abraham Lincoln. He's a person, but still that's informational. Abraham Lincoln. I know a lot about the Vietnam War. I know a lot about origami. And I know a lot about, I don't know, my last one, bowling. Okay, these are all things that I can inform you about, right? So there is my expert list. Now, when I am finished with my expert list, what you're going to do is you are going to pick your top 3. These are things that you think you can give me 3 really full paragraphs about. And then, of course, a topic, paragraph, and introduction, and a concluding paragraph. Now, I'll give you a clue here. You might be able to write 5, 6, 7, 8 chapters to this. We'll talk more about that once we get there, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to pick 3. I'm going to change the color here, and you're going to do this on your own. And remember, this is 3 that you can have a lot of content. Now, boys and girls, listen to me. You can come up with a list like this. You just have to be creative, and you have to think about the things that interest you. Maybe there's an instrument like playing guitar. Maybe there's different things that you like to do at home. If you're an actor, you might put acting. If you're, a dancer, you might put specific kinds of dancing. Okay, but please be creative. Okay. You also want to try to narrow it down as much as you can. We'll talk more and more about that next week, but right now I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, so my top 3, I'm going to go ahead and pick the gym. Oh, that's boring. I'm going to pick podcasting. That's 1. I'm going to pick writing. No, that's too easy. Let me pick guitar. And I'm going to pick Abraham Lincoln. Let me pick Oriental short hairs. So you can see I'm not really sure. So that's step 2, is you are going to make sure that you pick 3 different topics, okay? Now, when you're done with these 3 topics, you're going to find somebody. Now, listen to me, boys and girls. Maybe not necessarily a best buddy. You're going to find somebody that you can talk to them about your 3 different topics. Your goal is very simple. You're going to talk to them. So I would talk to my partner about guitar. I'm going to say all the different things about guitar that I know. There are electric guitars. There's acoustic guitars. There are guitars with 6 strings. There's guitars with 12 strings. There's guitars with 7 strings. There are acoustic electric guitars. You can play music with guitars, obviously. You can play folk guitars. You can play classical. You can play heavy metal with different guitars. I can talk about different songs that you can play on the acoustic guitar. I can talk about learning. I can talk about the chords. I can talk about the strings. I can talk about the parts of a guitar. Oriental short hairs. I can tell you that Oriental short hairs are named that way because they were based in Asia. They have short hair, obviously. They come in all different kinds of colors. They have very unique facial features. They have big, giant ears, and they have noses that jut out a little more than a normal cat. I can go on and on there. And then in podcasting, you need to have a microphone. You need to have a way to download it. You need to have a topic. You need to have a way to get it onto iTunes or Stitcher, one of the different various ways you can put on a podcast. You can do it on YouTube. Again, I can go on and on there. And what I'm going to do is, of the 3, me and my partner are going to choose the one that I know the most about, and I'm going to put a star next to it. Boom. Guitar. Okay? That's clearly the one that I knew the most about. Now, your final step is you're going to then, let me go ahead and shrink this down a little bit. You're then going to start brainstorming everything that you know. So either on the same page, and I have plenty of room on the same page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle. And in that circle, I'm going to write guitar. Now, I may have changed it. I may have, shrunk it down to acoustic guitar. And all I'm going to start doing down here, and I'm going to change the color again, is I'm going to write everything I know about the guitar. It doesn't really matter where it goes for now. I'm going to write strings. I'm going to write acoustic. I'm going to write electric, classical, bass. I'm going to write headstock. I'm going to write body, bridge, strings, sound hole, pickups. All right, it's chords, notes. I'm going to write songs. And you can see I can go on and on here. You kind of get the idea. Once you're done writing everything, and you could end up with 50 things. I could keep going, and I will keep going so that tomorrow, as you continue, you'll be able to see exactly what mine looks like. What you're going to do is finish here and don't go any further. Shut your notebook, pull out your novel, and get going with independent writing. You can see here, with me having done this before, we're sitting at 13 minutes. My expectation for you is this takes a lot longer than that. So please don't rush through this. When you think you're done, or if you're struggling, please make sure that you ask your substitute for a little extra help. And you can ask a friend for help. Please make sure that you get permission to do that. Okay? That's going to be it for your writing. With all of the rest of your time, you are going to be doing some independent reading. Now, one last thing that I want you to do. Let's take some pictures of this when you're finished. And I don't want you to upload them yet. I might come up with a little place for you to upload them so that I can see it when you're finished, so that I know that you're doing what I asked you to do. All right, guys, that should be it for today. Oh. Whoa! That's awesome! Oh, look at my cute little unicorn and my cute little witch. Oh, another unicorn. Supergirl to save the day.
Hello.
Wolverine, let me see your... Very nice. I don't know who that is. They're doing this very well, though. Here's Peach. Hit it! Hit it! Hit it! Oh! Howie! Come on, guys. Who's that? Who is that? Ah, nice. Don't cut off my hand.
I was gonna be Elle from Stranger Things, but they didn't have the costume.
Well, I have my Dustin costume out in the car. That is a really good pirate outfit. All right, guys, have a seat. Is everyone here? Guys, have a seat. Have a seat. Yes.